Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to another Buzzing Chat Show here on Buzzing Pattaya. And to today's topic, 5 things that I think are going to happen when you come here to Pattaya, and 5 things that you may not even realise will happen, but they should do. And what I'd like to do is, I'd like to ask you guys, especially those of you that have been here in the past and have experienced this, I'd like to make this a really informative chat in terms of you sharing your experiences and how you dealt with the situations that I'm going to highlight today. So maybe people reading through can get some advice, get some ideas and think, actually, yeah, that's a great idea. That's the way I'm going to deal with this situation. So before we get stuck in, as always, guys, please have a look on Discord. Nearly 12,000 members now, particularly the new guys. If you haven't been out here before, have a look. There is a link in the description below. It's completely free to join, and it's packed full of information and advice, just like what we're going to talk about today. And if you have been here many times, guys, maybe you jump on there and share your pearls of wisdom for us. That'll be much appreciated. So as always, I'm going to put some overlays over the top and take away this vision of beauty. And anyway, so we're going to put some stuff going over the top as to what's going on right here at the moment, and we're going to chat away about 5 things that are going to happen when you come out here. All right, so first thing, judgment. And I've got to say to you, excuse me, I've got to say to you, when I first came out here, I had absolutely no idea that I was going to be judged the way that I've been judged. And it's going to happen to you guys. You know, when you come out here, you know, if you've been out before, you'll have friends and family and people back home talking behind your back, oh, you know why he's out there, you know, and all those kind of things that we have to put up with on a day-to-day basis. And the problem is that once you've made that step to come out here, you are tarnished with that brush. Whether you like it or not, that is what's going to happen. And it's really weird because, you know, I look on the internet, obviously I'm a YouTuber and I've got a social presence, so I'm open to abuse quite a lot, and I get a fair bit. But the point being is this, is that so many people that have never ever been here judge you based on what they think happens rather than what they know happens. And that cascades all the way down to people, even including your family and your friends. You'd be amazed. I know when I first came out here, people were like, oh, you know, lucky old Trevor's going out to Thailand, because I went to Bangkok. And when I went around Bangkok, that was fantastic. No problems whatsoever. Then I went to Koh Samui, to the beaches and to the island. And again, no problem whatsoever. But you know what? The minute I came here to Pattaya, oh, wow, what a change in attitude that was. So guys, if you are coming out here, you do need to be a little bit thick-skinned. You do need to understand that unfortunately it is going to happen. There are going to be people talking about you, passing their pearls of wisdom on about what you did or didn't get up to. And it really is something that does take quite a bit of strength of mind to get over. And you know, I've had this discussion many times when you talk about people, particularly people in their twilight years. People say, oh, you know, they're just dirty old men going over there, etc., etc. But the reality is far different. And at the end of the day, those said people that come over here in their twilight years, I think fair play. I think absolutely fair play, because what would you rather do? Sit at home, rotting away, waiting for the day when it's your turn to knock on the pearly gates of heaven? Or is it okay to come out here, enjoy the climate, enjoy the sea, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the nightlife, and just enjoy yourself? What is the harm in that? Because I don't get it. You know, these people, they sit there and they throw out their judgments, oh, you're this, you're that, and I think to myself, what on earth are you going on about? So when you do come out here, be prepared, particularly if you've never been out here before. Be prepared, you are going to get judged. It's not very pleasant, but it happens. Guys, if you have been in that situation where people have judged you, drop a comment below. You know, how do you deal with it? What's your answer to their criticisms and their accusations? What do you do in order to just, you know, pass that away and get on with your life? Drop your comment, guys. I'd much appreciate to find out how you deal with it. In terms of how I deal with it, just very, very quickly, I just laugh, smile, and say, you believe what you want to believe, I will believe the truth. And I'd leave it at that. And to be honest with you, over the last 10 years now, it's kind of dropped off. What I have got is obviously the social media, and the YouTube is now hammering, but it's okay, I just delete and block them, that's easy. But anyway, there you go, that's the one. So the first thing you're going to get is you're going to get judged, guys. You are going to get judged. Number 2, when you come over here, you are going to fall in love at least once a day. And what you've got to do is separate lust from love. And that's a really important thing to try and understand, because, you know, I've seen it before. You know, I've met people over here. There was a guy I met only a few weeks back, lovely, genuinely nice guy. He sat down with me, he said, Trev, I really don't know what to do. I said, what's the problem? He said, I've got feelings for a bar girl. And, you know, we're all human beings at the end of the day. We all have hearts, we all have feelings, you know, we have a mindset. And so, of course, it's very, very easy to allow those feelings to overcome logic. But as harsh as this may be, the reality is that unfortunately 95, maybe 98% of the time, this is business. And the girls that work here are here to earn money, and you've got to separate that in your mind. You've got to get it out of your head that this is true love, because generally speaking, it's not. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a relationship with a bar girl, because I know people that have, and some have had many, many years of happy married life. So it's not saying you can't have that. But what I'm saying to you is, when you walk down the road, you are going to see countless amounts of girls that in your eyes, you're going to think, wow, look at her. And you've got to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? You've got to be very calm about the whole situation and take it in step by step, day by day, for what it is. And, you know, it's very hard. It's easier said than done. I've got to be honest, you know, I've been here a long time. Even me, you know, I walk down the road and I'll see her go and think, wow, she's like so pretty. But that's where it stops. That's where it's got to end. For you guys, obviously, you might want to go in and chat with her and have a drink with her, etc. I won't do that, because obviously I'm with Mo. But the point being is this, that you've got to really get a firm grip on the reality when you come out here. Because when you do come out here, trust me, you are going to walk around and fall in love. And it's hard. You know, the guys that have been out here many times will hopefully drop their comments below and tell you just how hard this really is. Because it is a very, very difficult mindset to be able to get over and be able to walk down the road and go, it's okay. And you're walking past the girl thinking, God damn, like, Jesus, like, where's that come from? But you've just got to keep on walking. So I don't know how you deal with it. For me, I'm past it. You know, one of the things that's helped me out tremendously is obviously, as you guys know, I'm a photographer here. So I've literally, I mean, if you go into Discord, I must have posted, oh man, thousands of photos. So I've kind of got that like switch where I just think this is just, it is what it is. It's nothing personal. So I'm very, very lucky in that respect, but you guys may not be. So just be very, very careful about how you adjust to the scenarios that you're walking around in, because trust me, this is, in very, very real terms, fantasy land. Number 3, ladyboys. Now, back home, particularly when I lived in London, it was brutally honest that there was a lady boy as such, if you want to call them. You know, I don't know how you describe this situation now, to be honest. I've lost touch on what you say back in the home countries, and I don't want to say the words that I'm thinking of, because that's disrespectful. But when you come out here, lady boys are part and package of everyday life. You will find lady boys working in 7-Eleven. You will find lady boys working in receptions. You will find them inside bars and clubs. You know, ladyboys here are a completely, totally acceptable way of life, and there is no stigma attached to them whatsoever. We have dedicated ladyboy bars. And, you know, again, it goes back to point number 1 about being judged. If you come out here and you engage in a ladyboy scenario of some description, I mean, people back home will just freak out. They won't understand that in any way, shape or form. They really won't. That will just trigger all of their brain stems going, weirdo, weirdo, weirdo. When the reality is, they're actually great fun to be around. I've got many ladyboy friends. You know, you come into the Buzzing Bar, we've got Lita and Nung, both really, really nice people. And Lita's great fun. Nung's great fun as well, but Lita's more of a social person in terms of, like, she puts herself out there. But the thing being is, guys, when you come out here for the first time and you've not experienced the ladyboy, you have got to be very, very careful. Number 1, do not be derogatory to the ladyboys, as in, oh, go away, you're just you know, you're a bloke with a cock and all the rest of it. Don't do that, guys, because honestly, it will end you in a lot of trouble. Secondly, and most importantly, if by any means you do get caught in terms of the fact that you think you're with a woman, but in fact you're with a ladyboy, please, no matter how difficult it may seem at that moment in time, that given second in your life, do not kick off. Do not be angry. Just politely decline. If need be, pay the bar fine or the fee if that's what you've already committed to. and just walk away. It's not a drama. Do not get into any aggressive situation, guys. It will end badly. There is no doubt about it. I don't care whether you're 6'7" and 5 foot wide, it's going to end up badly. So guys, be very, very careful. I'm sure there's people watching this video now, listening to me talking, that have had this situation. I've had it myself. I've shared it with you guys. It's not an issue. But the point being is this: if you do stumble onto a ladyboy scenario that you're not expecting, get yourself together mentally, calm down, and just leave the situation in the most amicable way possible. And you know, that's all I can say to you guys. If you've been in that situation, you know, drop your comments below. What do you think about how you deal with the ladyboy scenario here? And the problem is it happens so often, and it's, you know, ladyboys are literally around every single corner. But up in your mind, you've got to just clear your mind of all your predetermined judgments of when you were back home, and you've just got to say to yourself, do you know what, it is what it is, no dramas. And at the end of the day, they're not hurting anyone, are they? And let's be honest, you know, some of the ladyboys there are so fit. I mean, they really are. You know, they really are just like top quality fit. So if nothing else, good eye candy. Just don't tell your mum. I can tell my mum, she knows already. Anyway, so point number 3 is you are going to engage with or see or talk to or whatever. You are going to go into that ladyboy scenario. So be prepared. Be prepared. The next one. You're a liar. And I'll tell you why you're a liar. Because when you do go back home and you try to share the stories that go on here, the situations that happen here, the experiences that you've taken part in, people back home won't believe it. If you look back now and you think about it, when you're out here holidaying, you're partying, you're having fun, what are your mates doing? More than likely they're doing their 9-to-5 job, living their life, just plodding along, doing their thing, waiting for the Friday night lads night out, or the Saturday afternoon, let's go and watch a bit of football, sit in the pub, drink me 6 pints of ale and go home with a fish and chips. These kind of things is what are normal to your friends. Now when you come out here and you go on, like maybe you come on one of our bar crawls. You know, we hold bar crawls every Friday. We're soon to be introducing Tuesdays as well, because we're getting so many people join in. And they are full on. They are literally full on. They really are. And of course, the next day when we all meet up, people talk about what we got up to the night before and how much fun it was. And that's real. You try going back to wherever it is you're from and say to your friends that maybe have never traveled or are particularly reclusive, you know, those kind of people, you try and speak to them and say, oh, listen, I went into here, I did that, I did this. They're going to look at you and go, what a load of BS. And they're going to just think you're lying. My tip for you is keep your excitement and your experiences and all the things that have happened over here, keep them to yourself, guys, because there's nothing worse than trying to explain to somebody that just doesn't get it. You know, remember what we've said already, you're going to be judged. You know, that's a given. A lot of people think that there's only ladyboys out here, so that's another given. So already you're up against it. And then you go back and you're going to try to explain, guys, these are the things that we experienced when we were out here. So you are, unfortunately, going to be not classified as an outright liar, but they probably will struggle a lot to believe what you're telling them. And I'll tell you what I did find, which was really weird, and I don't know if you guys have experienced this as well, but I'll tell you what I did find, which I found quite strange, was when I used to come here holidaying and I did go back and I did share the stories with my friends, a lot of my mates, as in like guy mates, told their wives. And I tell you, that was really, really strange. I didn't understand why they did that. I couldn't understand the logic in sharing those experiences, because why would you tell your wife what your mate got up to on holiday? Is it to make him look silly? I'm not really sure. But the one thing that happened on the back of that, unfortunately, was, you know, what the old women's meetups are like, their little chin wags. Oh man, you know, I would go and see people and their wives would be looking at me, and you think to yourself, you are judging me by staring at. And I've even had someone come and say, I can't believe you, Trav, you know, why do you go and do that? And I'm like, do what? Well, you know what you do when you go to that place over in Thailand. And I'm like, hang about, whoa, you haven't got a clue what I do. And also, your husband's told you, doesn't know either, because he's never been, because he hasn't got the balls to come out here on holiday. And plus the fact you rule him with a rod of iron. So, you know, it's weird. Expect that, it's weird. So, of course, ultimately, that does come back to the fact that you are going to be judged as a liar. And the last one, and this is one I think a lot of us have endured and have had to experience, and I myself have done this and it's not nice, is post-holiday blues. And the problem is if you've never been out here before, when you go home, you are going to go through this, because the euphoria of coming out here, having fun, experiencing things that you've never imagined you would experience, seeing things that you never possibly could imagine would ever happen, all the fun you're going to have, the people you're going to meet, the excitement of going around the bars and, you know, seeing the islands, the beaches, and all these kind of things are going to take their toll on you. And for many, it's a really tough situation, myself included. So that what happens is, when you go home, you're literally sat there bored, feeling down, feeling sad, because you're now back to the real world and you're just living your life as you were before you came out on holiday. Now for me, and I don't know what you guys did, particularly those who come out here frequently, for me, what I did was I had to do the rebook. So I had to go back and I had to book my holiday straight away, so that I had a given date as to when I was going to come back out. And that way I didn't feel so bad, because one thing's worse is coming out here and having a great time, which you will, there's no doubt about that whatsoever, you will. And then when you come out here, you go back and you're like, oh man, I'm back down my local pub, and let's just say the eye candy is perhaps not really as candified as it was out here. The fun and laughter isn't like it was out here. Do you know where I'm coming from? Oh, I've got a train coming past, 1 second. All right, that's better. I get my trains all the time. They come through all hours of the morning. So yeah, anyway, where were we? Yeah, we're talking about post-holiday blues. So, you know, book yourself another trip, get yourself focused so you've got an aiming point. That does help. And certainly try not to focus too much on what you've been doing, because that will get you depressed. It really does happen. So there we go. A few things that are going to happen. Number one, you're going to get judged. How you deal with that judgment, that's down to you. Guys, if you've got any tips or advice on how to deal with that, please drop your comments below. What do you do about getting judged by your friends, your family, your mates, people that talk about you behind your back? You know, what's your thoughts on that? Falling in love. You're going to fall in love. Remember the 3-day rule. Okay, we have the 3-day rule in place simply because it's really important. If you start spending more than 3 days with a particular girl here, you are possibly going to get feelings involved, and that's naturally going to play in your mind, in your heart. You're going to visualize, oh, maybe I could spend the rest of my life with this woman. You know, there are a lot of thoughts that are going to run through your mind. So again, you know, when you are here, 3-day rule, guys, as a general rule. You know, after that, you're on your own. You're in the deep end. You're swimming with lead weights on your feet. Good luck on that one. Also, ladyboys. You know, I can't explain it too many times and say it enough times. Be very, very mindful of the scenario that you're in. For goodness sake, do not get yourself in an issue in terms of, you know, raising your voice, shouting and screaming, and, you know, throwing your toys out your pram. Just try and stay calm. Try and address the situation for what it is, and try and just leave in an amicable way. Do not kick off, because honestly, guys, it's not a good idea. Remember, the things that you're going to see out here, the experiences that you're going to share, all the fun, the laughter, and all the stuff that you get up to, it ain't real in your friends' eyes. When you go back home, they're going to go, yeah, of course that happened. I really believe that. Not. And they are going to just think that you're talking out your rear end. They really will. It's a shame it happens, but it does happen, and that's the long and short of it. And lastly, like I say, you know, you are going to get post-holiday blues. It used to rip me up inside when I'd had like 3 weeks or a month or 6 weeks worth of absolute fun, laughter, sunshine, all that kind of stuff, to then go back home thinking to myself, oh God, here we go. I'm back on the old grind mill, back to normality, all that kind of stuth. So that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If there is any video questions you'd like me to answer, please drop me a comment, 247pattaya@gmail.com. I will do my very best to answer them for you. There is an email link in the description below. So have a look down there if there is anything particular, and you can't find it. You know, maybe check out Discord. I know I go on about Discord, but honestly, It really is an incredible platform, packed full of information and advice for both newbies as well as existing people. You know, we share lots of events, lots of parties, lots of updates. There is a lot of information there, a wealth of information, and as I say, it's completely free. So, you know, have a look in there. And if you haven't already, guys, please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon. And if you'd like me to notify you when I bring out a new video, which is every day at 9 AM as we are. And if you'd like to support the channel, guys, there is a link in the description below. Membership starts from as little as 89 pence per month, and the support is greatly appreciated, and it helps me a lot do what I'm doing. That's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.